Dr. Vu, this is the court reporter. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Could you turn your camera on for me? Hey, I
Good
just wanted
afternoon.
I just wanted to check your audio. Your video is
Yes.
obviously working well. So if you'll just put yourself on mute by pressing that mute button, and then we know everything works when they're ready for you. Thank you.
Hey, Megan, I'm having a hard time with my video. It's not letting me use my video. So I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot get my video started.
No worries. I was just popping on just to say that we are still waiting for some more board members for quorum, but hopefully we will get there soon. So if everyone could just remain patient. And as soon as we have another board member present, we can get started.
Megan, it looks like Dr. Cahill joined us, so I think we have 3 members.
Thank you. I did see that. Yes, Dr. Cahill did join us, and for unfortunately his last meeting, but he is here. And as Dr. Moran has not yet given his documents showing that he is ready to participate, Dr. Cahill gets to be with us one last time. So we appreciate him making time for us. And Dr. Kiefer, we are ready whenever you are.
That sounds good. I hope everybody's doing well, and we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. And I'll say that this is being held in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act by notice to the state newspaper Associated Press, and notice is posted on the bulletin board located at both the main entrance of the Kingstree building where the board office is located.
Great.
Thank you. So has everybody had a chance to review the agenda and the minutes from the December 1st meeting?
I move that we accept the agenda and the minutes.
Have a second? Dr. Lemon. Can we get a second on that motion?
I second that. Apologies.
Thank you. No worries. All right, we'll move to approve those. And next item we'll go to is the legislative update.
Excellent. Thank you. We have Virginia Wetzel joining us today. And Virginia, feel free to go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me move you guys to the right screen so I'm not staring off into the. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Virginia Wetzel and I'm the Governmental Affairs Director here at LLR. I wanted to pop in and give you a quick update on the 2026 legislative session. By law, it comes to a close each year on the second Thursday of May. There's several different ways that they can be called back into session. And this year, the governor actually called them back into session and specifically to take up redistricting, but he in no way is able to limit them in what they're able to take up, nor limit them in the amount of time that they can stay in session. So now that redistricting, you may have seen on the news that that is no longer on the table as far as the discussion goes with the General Assembly, but they. Uh-oh. Are we good?
We're good, Virginia. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
don't know
yeah,
why
no
it
worries.
stopped recording. Typically we record just to make sure we have a good record. Sorry about that.
Gotcha, no problem. Yeah, no worries. So the General Assembly is proceeding or continuing to meet. In fact, several conference committees are being scheduled this week. One in particular, the biggest, is the budget for South Carolina. So that is scheduled to start tomorrow. There's one bill that I want to bring to your attention that has made its way to a conference committee. A conference committee typically means that the Senate and the House have two different versions of the bill, and they must meet together in a conference committee with 3 conferees from each body to negotiate the differences in the bill. So the bill I want to discuss today that is still up for review and potential passage is House Bill 3021. It's the Small Business Regulatory Freedom Act. We've been following this bill since it was introduced last year. Its primary intent was to reduce regulations. The House passed it unanimously in a version. It made its way to the Senate and was completely rewritten, and the House has agreed to some of the Senate's rewrites. So I'm going to hit on the similarities between both versions, and then I'll hit on the differences that will be up for discussion in a conference committee when and if that is scheduled. So the biggest thing to note about this bill is it impacts every single board at LLR and the way that we will promulgate regulations going forward. The first big similarity is it inserts the Legislative Audit Council into the regulatory review process for all agencies and boards. It does somewhat conform to our normal 5-year review. It states a 5 to 8 year review. So that's a little bit different, but pretty much the same as what we follow now. The LAC, Legislative Oversight's primary goal will be to identify any regulations that are not there per statutory authority or are obsolete. So that is what they will be reviewing, and both versions of the bill include their new oversight in the process. As the bill traveled through the legislative process, several professions were exempted from the provisions of the bill. However, those exemptions have been removed, and both the House and Senate now chose not to exempt any professions from this new regulatory framework. So now I'm going to dive into the differences in the bill, which we're watching super closely. It basically centers upon the enforcement and consequences for agencies who do not, who fail to complete the required reviews with LAC. So under the Senate version, if we do not comply with the rules set forth with LAC's review within a certain time frame, we would be prohibited from filing any new regulations. We feel comfortable. Holly Beeson manages our regulations in consultation with your board, council, and we feel comfortable with those rules that are set in place, and we feel like we can tackle that. The House's version, however, implements a modernization review process that can be triggered through, number one, us failing to comply with the LAC's new review, or two, it can be triggered by any legislative committee or joint resolution. A modernization review process, we're still trying to map out what that looks like, but it would require the full repromulgation of any one regulation, an entire chapter of regulations, or an entire agency's set of regulations. And if the repromulgation is not completed timely, then those regulations would expire. So there's a lot that we're still learning about this review process, but we're trying to keep our ear to the ground so that we understand what that looks like. The two versions also differ in their fiscal impact transparency reporting. As it stands now, when we promulgate a regulation, we do highlight any sort of impact to the regulatory community. Now we're going to be required to provide all of our supporting documentation and calculation methods. So as that comes down the pike, if that's something that does prevail, we'll make sure to relay any sort of new changes to the boards. The last difference between the two versions deals with the way a regulation passes based on the fiscal impact to the regulatory community. If a regulation results in a $1 million impact to the regulatory community over 5 years, the Senate, let's see, hang on one second. Yes, the Senate would require that regulation to be approved through a joint resolution. It would no longer toll out through the normal Administrative Procedures Act process. It would require a joint resolution. However, the House has a different threshold. Where the Senate had $1 million, the House had $10 million. Oh, I have those backwards, guys. I'm sorry. So the Senate has 10 million, the House has 1 million. So keep that in mind. We will be sure to send out a detailed summary of this bill if it does pass and where it lands from a provisional standpoint regarding regulations. But other than that, that's the only bill I wanted to touch on today. I know that was a lot, but we want to make sure you guys are kept up to date on that because it will be a big change. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I do not. Does anyone else?
What
No,
was the name
sir.
of that bill? Was it 3021, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have
Anything
something?
else?
Did you add something, Dr. Cahill?
No, I got it. Thank you.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much, Virginia.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
You too. All right, so moving along, we'll go to the office, the OIE report.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bianca Smith. I am the program manager. I'm standing in for Jaditza Alexander, who is the lead for this board. We'll start with the status of the complaints. Currently, complaints received from January 1st, 2026 through May 27th, 2026 was 7 cases. We have 3 active investigations and we've closed 2 cases. And that is for your informational purposes only. Then we'll move to the board report, and we have 1 dismissal 2025-5 for your consideration today.
Have y'all had a chance to review this one?
Yes.
We have a motion to
I move that we accept this.
second. We have a second, Dr. Lemon.
I'm sorry. I thought you were seconding it. Yes,
No,
I second to
I
make a
can't, I
motion.
guess. I would, but I can't. So,
Gotcha.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right. So thank you very much. So are we now at the application hearing for Dr., how do you say your last name?
I think you're talking with me. I'm Dr. Sitch.
No, we're not quite to you yet, I don't believe.
Okay.
But I'll remember
Uh,
Sitch to get to you.
Name is Thuy Hiền Vu. Last name is Vu. Yes.
Fu, okay, thank you. So where are we at? Hang on one second, I'm sorry. Did everybody get the information from the application? Megan, is this in regards to, I'm sorry, is this in regards to you as far as what we're doing to address this? Or
I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
didn't understand the question.
No, I'm sorry. We're on the initial
I'm Ms. Vu.
application
I'm
hearing.
Dr. Vu. I'm sorry, Dr. Vu.
Yes, my bad. So are we, where are we at with, we're reviewing this, or what do we need? How do we need to move forward with this?
This would be an application hearing as the staff wasn't able to approve at staff level. So we would just need to ask, we just need to make sure first, need to get Ms. Vu, sorry, Dr. Vu, I'm so sorry. Dr. Vu sworn in, and then we need to just make sure that Dr. Vu, that you didn't want to bring an attorney here with you today and that you understand you can waive that right.
I understand.
Okay, and you want to go forward on your own?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have the court reporter swear you in, and then we're gonna ask staff to just update us on why they could not approve your application at staff level. Then it'll be your turn to talk about it. And let us
Yes.
know anything that you would like us to know about your application, okay?
Yes.
If you'll raise your right hand, I'll swear you in at this time. Do you solemnly swear under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Would you like me to give you an update on the staff? This is Jessica here. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
IT was in here just a minute ago trying to get my camera to work, but we can't get it to work right now.
I was trying to find you and I couldn't find you. So yes.
Sorry about that. Right now I'm a
you can update
blue
us.
circle. Sounds good. Well, thank you all for taking the time. We brought Dr. Vu's application before the board because there was some time off of working as a podiatrist doing missionary work, and then there was some practice outside of the US and Cambodia, and from 2016 to 2024, and we wanted to understand if the board was comfortable with that time away from practice, and understand that there might be some differences practicing in the US versus other countries. So we wanted to get some feedback from the board on the time away from practice and the practice in another country.
Okay. So I guess if you would like to address any of the concerns that she just brought up with the application, Dr. Vu.
Yes. So in response to the number 10, have you ever discontinued the practice of podiatry for any reason for 3 consecutive months or more? My answer was I did from June of 2013 to March of 2016. Those was the time that I and my husband moved to Cambodia to serve as missionary to help care for orphan and at-risk children. After I was able to establish that organization, I continue working as a volunteer podiatrist at Mercy Hospital in Cambodia. I worked in Cambodia from April 2016 to June 2024. And then in July 2024, we have to return to the US to help care for my mom. So from July 2024 to now, I did not have the chance to practice in podiatry. So those are my answer to the question, and I would be happy to answer more questions from the board.
A couple of questions, and I might have just overlooked it. So you finished residency in 2011,
11.
and
Yes.
then what did you do from 2011 to 2013?
After finishing 3 years of residency in St. Luke Hospital in Allentown, Pennsylvania, I was employed as full-time podiatrist with Podiatry Associates of Lehigh Valley until June of 2013. And I had hospital privilege at the hospital that I worked at.
Okay, I must have just overlooked it. I didn't see that. And during your time away, did you keep up with continuing education through the process?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm certified with American Board of Podiatry Medicine in October of 2017, and I have always kept up with my continuing medical education and maintenance of certification requirement to maintain my license and certification.
Okay. Thank you. That's the only questions I had. Anyone else?
Just curious, what kind of work did you do in Cambodia?
You mean the podiatry work at the
Correct.
hospital? Yes. Most of the work was wound care. I helped started the wound care at that hospital and helped train the family medicine residents at that hospital in wound care. So providing different kind of very basic wound care, but diabetic ulcer, arterial ulcer, venous ulcer, pressure ulcer care, and some podiatric medicine, plantar fasciitis, neuroma, Achilles tendonitis. But the majority of the work was wound care. The hospital was staffed by the local Khmer doctor, but they are trained by expat doctor from the US, from Germany, from Australia. So my colleague was a doctor from the US and Germany.
Thank you.
Doctor, do you have current plans to work somewhere?
I don't have the license, so I have not, but I am currently working as a registered nurse at a free clinic in Greenville, South Carolina. And I see a big need for podiatry service because at that clinic, there are a lot of specialty, but there is no podiatry service. And the executive director did mention that this is a big need. And I hope that with the license, I will be able to start working there as a podiatrist.
Any other questions?
Dr. Kiefer, do you want a motion to go into executive session?
That is a fantastic idea. You read my mind.
I so move.
Second.
I will go ahead and place you all into executive session. I've started a breakout. I can place you in there. Advice Council and Megan, I've made you co-host. So if you need to move folks back in, you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, Dr. Vu, that does mean that the board is going to move into a separate session and will be back with us in just a few moments.
Yes. Should I maintain on the line?
Yes, you can
Okay,
stay
thank you.
right in here. Perfect. Okay. Should be just a moment here.
Jessica, I have a William that joined us. Is that our William Harris board member, or is that someone we can
Yes.
identify? Okay, very good.
Perfect. Dr.
Yep,
Harris, I'm going to put you into the executive session here. Just one moment.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we met the executive board.
Hold
Hang on.
on 1 second, Dr. Lemon.
We got to wait on, apparently Jim and Will got lost, Dr. Harrison.
I can work on moving them if they have not gotten.
Yeah, they are still in there.
Gotcha.
There's one. All right.
Gotcha.
There we go. So now we're going to need a motion to come back into session.
I make a motion to return to session.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor of coming back into session? Aye. So moved. All right. Dr. Lemon?
All right, so after discussing with the executive board, we make a motion to approve licensure for Dr. View contingent upon either doing a 3-year residency or working for a South Carolina licensed podiatrist for 3 years. And with either option, we will need a yearly report at the end. Back to the board. 1 second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 So moved.
Okay, so Dr. Vu, you will be able to have your license. We'll get that good to you, but for the next 3 years, you're either going to need to be in a residency program or for 3 years, not next, because whenever you get ready, it's either need to be in a residency program or under the direct supervision of a South Carolina licensed podiatrist. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Does it have to be a full-time, part-time position if it's under another podiatrist supervision?
It,
What was your question?
whether it needed to be full-time or part-time, if it could be part-time. A
Are you asking
residency
if
is
you can work
normally
part-time?
a residency is normally a full-time situation, so it would need to be it would need to be a full-time position.
Yes.
Dr. Vu, are you still?
Yes, so if I don't find an employment, then I cannot continue my podiatry license. Is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Your
the
option
decision?
is either
Okay.
to do a official residency program or to be employed under the direct supervision of a South Carolina podiatrist. And if you can't make one of those options work, then you won't be able to have an active license.
Okay.
All right. And we'll
Thank you.
send you an order that outlines this. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I can
Thank you.
sign off now?
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So our next point of business is inquiry into residency training licensure for podiatrists.
I'm sorry. I tried to leave the meeting and it doesn't let me come off.
I can help with that. Give me just 1 moment
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
So who has the information about the residency training licensure?
Oh,
Jessica, do you
Megan,
know?
I think you're muted. We have Dr. George Sitch available on the call. He
Perfect.
presented a letter in the board secure kind of outlining the request and Megan would be able to speak to the legal part of it, but we did receive a request to look into what kind of options we might be able to have for moving forward with a residency program license.
So, to help me understand, just make sure I'm reading it right. This is basically, it is somebody who has a residency, they're in a residency in another state, and they want to do some of their training in South Carolina.
That is correct.
Okay.
Is
Megan,
there anything else you want to tell us about this was your question and your proposal? Is there anything else you wanted the board to know about this before I give them some legal advice regarding this?
No, I think everything that I have to say, I've included in writing. And again, I'm not sure if this is going to be, you know, does the state need to have new action, or are the laws currently written allow a resident who's in a CPME approved program in another state to come into South Carolina to train with South Carolina licensed physicians in South Carolina facilities?
And I think in your materials, you outlined that you felt this was a specific need for South Carolina to ensure more licensed podiatrists. And I believe, if I'm not remember correctly, you were discussing working with the VA. Is that accurate?
That's correct. I'm part-time. I practice in South Carolina in Aiken. And my other job is the residency director at the Charlie Norwood VA in Augusta, Georgia.
And I just want to again clarify for the purposes of legal analysis, you are not wanting to set up a specific residency program, instead have students come in on a part-time basis as necessary.
So whenever a South Carolina physician would have a surgery, for example, at a South Carolina facility, we're requesting the ability for our residents to cross into South Carolina and actually participate in surgery.
Now, Dr. Sick, this is Dr. Harris. I have a question. So these are VA residents?
Because South Carolina does not have a podiatric surgical.
So you would be
So I
bringing
wasn't
VA
sure how to
residents.
interpret the laws.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be clear, because we had a residents at the VA in Philadelphia too. So you're wanting the South Carolina, the VA residents to go to a VA in South Carolina?
Negative. This is for an outside the VA, outside of the federal home of the VA. So outside the VA, in a non-VA facility in South Carolina.
Is that allowed?
Yes, sir.
I'm
By
happy
For
to give
example,
some. Sorry.
Is that because I know the VA residents in Philadelphia and Delaware can only work in the VAs through their resident. They couldn't
no, that's
go between
incorrect.
multiple.
Correct.
Okay.
In Georgia, we have multiple affiliation agreements set up with, for example, Piedmont Hospital, Doctors Hospital
Okay.
of Augusta, and different programs on the Georgia side, so our residents could participate with Georgia licensed physicians at Georgia facilities. And so my request is to allow the residents from the Georgia program at the VA to come into South Carolina to work with South Carolina physicians in South Carolina facilities. And the caveat here is, once an established relationship is set up between the VA Office of Academic Affiliations, they have an
Okay.
affiliation agreement that's already prepared, that would need to be established between the VA and the South Carolina hospital before the residents could come in and start working with the physician.
I got you.
Megan,
Yes.
can you address, because I mean, looking at section 40, 51, 57B,
Mm-hmm.
seems like that pretty much sums up this, but am I reading that wrong or not seeing?
I'm happy to give you that legal advice. I can give it on the record, but if I do, I would ask that the other board members waive their right to confidentiality, or we can go into executive session for some legal advice.
That
Either
sounds like
one.
a good idea. Anybody would like to make a motion for executive session?
I'd like to make a motion and go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor? And so moved. Can we get into
Aye.
executive session?
Yep, we'll move you in there. Give us just a moment. So Dr. Sitch, the board's gonna go in and get some legal advice and then come back out in just a little bit here and talk a bit more about this.
Sounds good. Just to let you know, I'm in the car in the deserts of of northern Arizona. So if I drop off the radar, that's probably why.
Okay.
Sounds good. Give us just a moment.
Do they need help getting back in the main session again?
I'll go ahead and get them in.
Thank you. Somebody want to make a motion to get back into session?
I make a
Make a
motion to
motion
go
to-
back in this session.
Second.
All in favor? All right. So Dr. Harris, what you got for us?
Is it, we're in session?
Yes,
Can't
we are.
see if
Yes.
everybody's. Yes. So Dr. Sid, we appreciate you bringing this to us. After discussion, we wanted to get some consultation with CPME and how interstate transactions happen between residents and training. And we didn't want to render a decision until we were able to glean some more information on how that works with training programs.
Understood. Thank you very much for the consideration. I look forward to a future response.
Dr. Stitch, I believe the board would also like to see some additional documentation, if you could provide it, regarding an example of a potential agreement that you would be using in South Carolina, and maybe some examples of affiliation agreements that you've used in Georgia, as well as maybe an outline of how many students you would anticipate being involved,
There's
how
gonna
often
be,
they would be present.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. There will be no students, only residents.
I'm sorry, residents. I misspoke. I apologize.
And I can do that. The affiliation agreement is managed by the Office of Academic Affiliations in Washington, D.C. There's only one agreement that is approved for use. So I'll email that, I guess through Jessica. I can send that to her and then distribute it. And I can provide copies of other affiliation agreements that we have with other hospitals outside the VA.
That would be excellent. Thank you. And yes, through Jessica would be the best method to do that.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thanks for calling in from the deserts of Arizona.
It was unfortunate timing, but it worked out. They actually have much better cell service in the middle of the desert than I expected. So I'm very thankful.
Very good.
Have a good afternoon. I'm going to sign off.
Sounds good. You too.
Thank you.
All right. And moving on to the next thing, discussion of scope of practice for podiatrists in regards to lymphedema.
And yes, I can tell you that that is both a follow-up of the mention at the last meeting, as well as there's been an independent request that Jessica received. I'm again happy to give y'all some legal advice regarding this matter if you would like to go into executive session to get that. I know I'm just having you hop back and forth a lot today.
That's probably the best idea. Anybody make a motion?
Make a motion that we discuss lymphedema scope of practice in executive session.
Second from anyone?
Second.
All in favor, let's move to executive session.
Give me just a moment and I'll move.
Sure. Should be good at this by now. All right, if somebody wants to make a motion to re-adjourn or get back into session.
I make a motion to return to general session.
All in favor? Aye. All right. So we have decided after talking to legal counsel that we're going to defer on this matter for more legal research and hopefully make a determination in the future. So we will move on to the next thing, which is my remarks. I don't have any at this time. So next would be administrator's remarks. Jessica, what you got for us?
Just wanted to give you all an update. Dr. Cahill is finally there is someone to take the seat in the Central District. Dr. Moran has been appointed, but does need to go through the pieces for appointment. So there's a couple of an oath and statement of economic interest. So once that is all completed, he'll be able to go ahead and sit with the board. So just wanted to note that. And at the December meeting, we might be able to recognize Dr. Cahill for his many years of service, even though having only been appointed for one term, I think it might be nice if we could do that because it's many years of service with the board here. So just wanted to note that. And then Dr. Harris was actually just got an email this week from, or at the very end of last week from the governor's office that they reappointed Dr. Harris through the end of this year. So after that, there might need to be an election, but Dr. Harris has been appointed through the end of the year. So just wanted to give you all an update on that. And then the next item on the agenda was the ample scoring report change. The scores for the American Podiatric Medical Licensing Exam have to be, they made a change at the national level, so folks have to request those. So we're working on a change to the application so folks know how to go get those requested. But it's not a significant change, but it is something that we wanted you all to be aware of, since that's a little bit of a different situation. Otherwise, those are the only two items that I had.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So it appears that is everything. And just remind everybody of our next meeting, December 7th, 2026. I have a motion to adjourn this.
Moved.
All right. So we will see everybody in December. Thank you for everything, Dr. Cahill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cahill.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, Dr. Cahill. Have a
Thank
great
you.
one. Thanks all.